side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Ebulomo Adekunle. In a major story, business boom as ram sellers and transporters smile to the bank ahead Eid al-Kabir celebration. Also in this program, police beef up security nationwide ahead Eid al-Kabir celebration. Patients leave hospital for homes in droves as health workers join strike in Ekiti State over unpaid salaries. And outside Nigeria, leaders of a pro-democracy student group in Hong Kong postponed talks with government after demonstrators' involvement in scuffles with opponents. And now the details. In spite of stark economic realities, ram sellers in the Federal Capital Territory say business has been booming. Although prices of the rams are as high as the previous year, this has not deterred residents who have been thronging the markets. Pius Samuel now reports from one of Abuja's main ram markets.
This is one of the popular ram markets in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Located just outside the city center, the market has been recording heavy human traffic, and unlike previous years, the traders are making good business. Until recently, they get rams from the northeast states of Borno, Yobe and Adamawa. But now, their focus is somewhere else.
This year's sales are far better than the last year's own. Most of the rams that we used to get from Yobe, Borno, Adamawa and neighboring Cameroon are no more coming from there. We had to go to Niger, Katsina side area before we get rams.
Now we are hoping that more people will come and patronize us. But to be sincere, business is better than last year. Some people will not want to buy the ram and keep. They will prefer us preparing it for them here. Someone just bought 150 rams from me.
These traders have a union to protect their interests as well as ensure a safer market.
Market is good for us this year compared to last year. Now with 15 to 25,000 naira, one will get a ram. No matter how much you bring here, you can get a ram.
An average ram in this market is sold for 35,000 naira, but there are orders in the 50,000 and above price range. Also, there are cows here for those who could afford them. But many Abuja residents are only glad to be celebrating Eid al-Kabir in a peaceful country.
Well, things are not as they should be because of the economy, but we thank God, at least there is peace in this country and we're all one.
Which is why, in spite of the stark economic realities, ram markets like this are booming in the Federal Capital Territory, and traders continue to smile to the bank. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Acting Inspector General of Police Suleiman Abba has directed all police commands nationwide to provide watertight security before, during and after the Eid al-Kabir's festivities. He also ordered all zonal assistant inspectors general and commissioners of police in the 36 states and the FCT to take steps to provide adequate security at all vulnerable points. The police helmsman specifically wants security beefed up at all places of worship, recreation centers and other public places. Meanwhile, the police have withdrawn the suit filed against the journalist with the African Independent Television, Amechi Anakwe. He was to be charged for alleged defamation of character, but the police backed down, leaving an Abuja Chief Magistrate Court to strike it out. Anakwe was consequently discharged. Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 7, Joseph Mbu, had allegedly ordered the arrest and detention of Anakwe for describing him as controversial on a TV program. He was released later on Thursday evening on bail, but was charged for alleged defamation. Rights activists in Abuja have demanded the sack of Mbu over the arrest and detention of their AIT staff. They converged under the umbrella of Say No campaign to lash out at the one-time Rivers State Police Commissioner, whom they accuse of introducing the type of policing that created political crisis in his previous posting. The activists argued that Mbu's style of policing is dangerous to the corporate existence of the nation.
Above constitutional order in Rivers State, acted in manners that undermined constitutional authority and the constitutional structure of the country. Yet this same person was not only recalled and patted on the back, he was actually rewarded with a promotion and then made an AIG. That's the impunity in the system that we are talking about. And that's why we actually hold the IG accountable. That if the IG had not, the IG and the Police Service Commission, if they had not condoned the excesses of Mbu, he would not have been promoted, and he would not have seen his promotion as actually a pat on the back that his superiors are saying, well done, carry on, and do what you are doing.
Mr. Mbu is not just only controversial, he is a disgrace to the Nigerian police. So the reason why I gave you my particulars is the more of us that Mbu can arrest,
You should go ahead and arrest. Yeah.
the better for us.
Yeah.
You see, the challenge that we always have as a people is that we respect authority too much. There's authority consciousness that is mind-boggling for us. Mbu is an AIG of police, paid from taxpayers' money, and therefore cannot wake up according to his own whims and caprices to decide who to arrest, to decide who to detain, and decide who to take to court.
With continual human rights abuse by the police, Mbu, we want to call for his, actually immediate sack.
Yes.
He has to be sacked. Otherwise, we are going to petition National Human Rights Commission. We are going to petition the National Assembly, relevant committees.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights.
INEC okays heavy security for 2015 general elections. Find out details of these and more other stories after this break. Don't go away.
This needs precision. Yes! Got to get her home before her curfew.
My dad!
Uh-oh, got to get her home fast. If we cut across 3 streets in 3 minutes and speed across the market in 2, should make it to the
Can we make it?
If we take the stairs at 30 seconds per flight, we just might. Yes! Made it in time. Mission accomplished.
Get everyday energy fast with Lucozade Boost.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe. And watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes, and bleeding from the eyes, ears, and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water, or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces, or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees, or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Thank you for being there. As the Election Petition Tribunal continues its sitting on the results of the governorship election, the heavy presence of security personnel during the period has again attracted debate. At a lecture organized by the Association of Veteran Journalists in Osogbo, National Commissioner of INEC, Lai Olurode, posits that security presence has become necessary to peaceful conduct of election and its credibility. Rashid was there and filed in this report.
Against the backdrop of the recently concluded Ekiti and Osun State governorship elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission is again poised to make use of security agencies in the conduct of subsequent elections in the country. Making a case for the commission, the National Commissioner Lai Olurode at a public lecture in Osogbo says INEC, through the deployment of massive security, has been able to overcome rigging which had before the Ekiti and Osun experiences characterized election in Nigeria.
The introduction of improved technology is to enhance the process, but it is not going to be sufficient anywhere in the world. Because somebody is going to make a return, somebody is going to do the recording, no matter how sophisticated the level of technology that has been deployed. People themselves must keep a watch over the procedure. It's a complementary intervention. It does not imply that people should go to sleep because technology on its own cannot deliver credible results. In some countries, as a matter of fact, people are moving away from technology. They are moving away from electronic voting in some of the countries. So we should not think that technology, the introduction of electronic voting or the introduction of card reader is going to confer credibility on the electoral process.
The electoral body also keen on deploying the electronic card reader at the 2015 general elections, a position pushed by the APC to no success during the governorship elections in Ekiti and Osun states.
The introduction of improved technology is to enhance the process, but it is not going to be sufficient anywhere in the world. Because somebody is going to make a return, somebody is going to do the recording, no matter how sophisticated the level of technology that has been deployed. People themselves must keep a watch over the procedure. It's a complementary intervention. It does not imply that people should go to sleep because technology on its own cannot deliver credible results. In some countries, as a matter of fact, people are moving away from technology. They are moving away from electronic voting in some of the countries. So we should not think that technology, the introduction of electronic voting or the introduction of card reader is going to confer credibility on the electoral process.
Judging from the experience of his party faithful during the August 9 governorship election, the Commissioner for Information in Osun State, Sunday Akere, commended Olurode, but was quick to point out the security flaws observed before and during the poll, especially as it concerns the treatment meted on some members of the APC.
My take on it is that everybody knows that with the mentality of Nigerian politicians, we believe that we must use some measure of force to assert ourselves at elections. Nobody is saying that the INEC should not use security operatives for election, but what we are talking about is over militarization. So we believe elections cannot hold, like you said, and which we all know, without the operatives being around, but overusage and abuse is what we are against. If the security operatives are ready to work the way INEC worked, as allowing...
Meanwhile, Nigerians are keenly watching as various electoral reforms are being turned out by the Commission ahead of the 2015 general elections. For them, the success or otherwise of this development will determine to a large extent the scorecard of INEC. Rashid, CoreTV News, Osogbo.
A chieftain of the All Progressives Congress in Adamawa State, Abdulrazak Nandes, has reiterated the party's confidence to win the forthcoming governorship by-election in the state. Nandes defended the late takeoff of the statewide campaign by the party.
It's a matter of strategy. Everybody knows how to pick votes. and we are politicians. After all, we have different parties, we have different policies, different programs. We must not start our campaign the same day. In any case, it is even an advantage that when they started, we did not start, so that we didn't clash anywhere. Let's do your own, I will do my own. So even if I decide to go on tour for just 2 days, it is my business. It is not supposed to worry anybody. This symbolic campaign moving from one local government to other is not even the main issue. It is this one that we move from one unit to the other, from one ward to the other. That is the thing. And for a long time, we in APC have been doing campaign. It is the PD people that are not campaigning because they believe they are in government, they have apparatus of government, so they can always use government apparatus to get what they want. But since we are in opposition, we cannot wait for them. We've been campaigning all along. It is now that they are thinking of this symbolic thing of moving from one local government that is called campaign. We've been campaigning all along.
He also stated that the insurgency in northern Adamawa will not affect the party's chances or general outcome of the election.
That our citizens that are in Madagali and Michika not to cast their votes, even if it is going to be to my advantage. I hope I will have prefer people in those areas to vote for me. I will have known, rate myself as to how I'm being accepted or we are being accepted in those areas. So it is not our wish that, but it is an obvious thing, given the challenge. Nobody will go there as an INEC official to even go and with ballot papers to conduct an election. For your safety and for the person who is going to cast it, except it's only the Boko Haram members that will vote, and their names are now on the list, they're not even from those areas. So it is a settled matter that elections should not hold in for us. That's how we prefer, because lives of people are more important. And but even given that, it's just 2 local governments out of 21. And if we will have 19 local governments council saying yes to a particular party with a good margin, I think all of us should take it in good faith. It is not our making. It is not brought by APC. Neither is it. So let's wait and see.
As the strike embarked upon by Ekiti State civil servant over unpaid salaries continues, health personnel under the aegis of Joint Health Sector Union in the state is also down tools. Patients at the State University Teaching Hospital in Ado-Ekiti were forcefully discharged as health workers joined the strike.
We are on strike as from this afternoon, 12 noon, because of our salary of August and September, which is yet to be paid.
I just now I deliver immediately. So it's because of strike. So that's why I had. That's why they discharged us.
Chairman of Health Workers in Ekiti State, Shola Ojo, says their decision to join the strike follows a directive by the Joint Negotiation Council for all workers to down tools until salaries are paid by the government.
Some have been discharged, they are not taking any new admissions, and all these things will continue to be like this unless we are paid. When we are paid, we come back. We are not happy going on strike because we know our calling. We're supposed to save life and not to endanger life. We don't have any.
The state government has, however, promised to pay all the arrears as soon as possible. Our state acting governor Umar Fintiri has commissioned a new maternity complex in the state. The hospital, according to the state government, is equipped with modern equipment obtainable in first-rate hospitals across the world. Our correspondent Martins Dixon has the report.
In the name of God and for the service of mankind, declare this maternity complex open for the usage of our mothers and children. Thank you.
The maternity complex is located within the premises of the Specialist Hospital in Yola. According to the State Commissioner for Health, Felix Tangwami, the maternity was reconstructed to replace the dilapidated maternity structure, which has become almost non-functional.
Your Excellency, those of us that were familiar with this labor room and maternity complex, before the intervention of government, we testified that the transformation is indeed clear. The entire structure was almost down and characterized by cracked walls, failing ceiling, rotted delivery beds, and outdated equipment.
The acting governor stated that his government will continue to improve the health system in the state by providing better health facility and equipment to save lives and to keep the people healthy.
Today is particularly important because this infrastructure will accelerate our drive to achieve MDG 4, reduce child mortality, MDG 5, improve maternal health, MDG 6, halt the spread of HIV, malaria or other infectious diseases, and MDG 8E, provision of essential drugs, shall always be fulfilling an accreditation requirement for our College of Nursing and Midwifery.
After the commissioning, Fintry was taken round the wards in the complex and shown the equipment installed, ready for use.
Automatically, it's all digitally controlled. This is the power here. Turn the light. And this thing goes in the axilla, the armpit of the baby, so that it will give the temperature. According to that, it is fixed.
He also supervised the newly constructed mortuary in the specialist hospital. Martins Dixon, CoreTV News, Yola.
We'll take another break now and we'll return with business news. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. And Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Hello there and welcome to Business News with me, Sabena Izoku. The new managing director of Shell Nigeria Exploration and Production Company, SNAPCO, Tony Atta, has been summoned by the federal government over the lingering crisis on the Bonga oil spill which occurred on the 20th of December 2011. According to the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, NOSTRA, about 40,000 barrels of oil spilled into the Atlantic Ocean during the oil exploration from the Bonga offshore facility of SNAPCO, which has affected the livelihood of 350 coastal communities. NOSTRA Director of Assessment, Idris Musa, who spoke during the tripartite meeting held at the instance of the House Committee on Environment, noted that the oil spill was not as a result of third-party intervention or sabotage, but resulted from equipment failure during the loading on the platform. Chairperson House Committee on Environment Uche Ekunife, who expressed disgust over the abuse of the environmental laws, directed SNAPCO to forward relevant reports signed by all parties to the committee on or before October 14, 2014. Ekunife has directed that SNAPCO should look at the findings of the Joint Investigative Team, NOSTRA's recommendation, and what happened since 2011. But he warned if there be any reluctance on their part, the committee will not hesitate to take actions on SNAPCO by adopting NOSTRA's recommendation. The latest report for the Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index PMI measured by Premiums Bank for Bank Capital shows a small setback in the headline reading from 54.6 in August to 53.2. Data for the exercise was compiled by NOI Pools. The index is based on the responses of a number of manufacturing companies to set questions on core variables in their businesses. The index is a familiar release at the start of the calendar month in developed markets. The larger emerging markets like Brazil and China, a few others frontier markets such as Vietnam. Changes in the operating environment such as access to electricity, fuel, credit, as well as swings in business confidence help to explain the setbacks of the output. And a statement said, we see the small decline in the headline index in September as within the margin for error for a frontier market, and usually the reading for output picked up to 46, while that for new orders slowed to 57. For the workforce, slow to 50. But the readings for all three sub-indices were firmer for medium-sized companies. The EU regulators on Friday approved the merger of communication platforms Facebook and WhatsApp application. The regulators said Facebook's and WhatsApp would not hamper competition. In April, the US regulators approved its acquisition but warned Facebook it had to abide by WhatsApp application's stringent privacy practices. According to the European Commission, the smartphone application is one of the most popular messaging platforms in cyberspace, with 600 million users worldwide. The instant messaging service allows users to send text, pictures, and videos messages to anyone with the application. Facebook has 1.3 million users. The social networking company has its own texting application, Messenger, but the Commission found that the two services are not close competitors. And in fraud, the U.S. biggest bank, JP Morgan, reveals it suffered a massive cyber attack on 76 million private and 7 million business customers in the U.S. The bank says the unusual customers' fraud involved customers' holders' names and addresses, but it did not involve critical information such as account numbers and social security numbers. Earlier this year, there were reports that Russia had hacked into its system. In August, the bank said it was cooperating with law enforcement officials over the suspected incident. It is unlikely customers will need to take any action, such as changing their passwords or account information. Some other major U.S. firms, including Home Depot and Target, have been under similar wild-scale attacks. And on the stock markets, the equity transaction on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The All Shares Index depreciated by minus 0.08% to close at 41,103.94 basis points. Market capitalization decreased and closes at 13.57 trillion naira. In all, 560 million shares valued at 5.758 million naira were exchanged in 4,322 deals. Report shows the Cadbury topped the gainers chart, followed by Champion, CCNN, Owando, and Union Bank of Nigeria. On the other hand, Guinness PLC topped the losers chart, followed by PZ, Mobil Oil, Nigerian Breweries, and Guaranty Trust Bank. Meanwhile, here are the top 5 trades. And that's it on business news. Ebuloma Adekunle will be back with the rest of the news. Stay with us.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
Our style, that's what he delivered. Here's that ball storming, now he takes Toyo with a flying lead.
Bo taking him out in the lead
You're welcome to the Word of Sports. The Super Eagles coach Stephen Keshi has announced that the national team will resume camping ahead of the two-legged AFCON qualifiers against the Falcons of Sudan on October 5. Keshi said the date was picked with all logistics taken into consideration by the Nigeria Football Federation and the technical crew. He said full training programs will resume on Monday, October 6, ahead the October 11 and 15 two-legged matches to be played at the Al Merrikh Stadium Omdurman and the Abuja National Stadium. Both in white apartments, Abuja remains the campsite and training for the Super Eagles when they resume on October 5. Nigeria third on the Group A, standing with a point from 2 matches, while Sudan have no point after 2 games in the qualifiers for 2015 tournament, which holds in Morocco. Congo led the group with 6 points, while South Africa is second with 4 points. Arsenal's manager Arsene Wenger says Zed Fabregas was determined to return to the North London side. The Spain international completed a £36 million move to Chelsea in the summer. The former Gunners captain spent 8 years in Arsenal before his move to Barcelona, but after falling out of favour, he switched to Stamford Bridge in a £36 million deal in the summer, a transfer Wenger believes was agreed in early 2014. Yet Wenger holds no animosity towards Fabregas and insists that he loves the Spain international despite choosing not to activate the buyback clause in the Stars Barca's contract. World number 1, Serena Williams will fly to Europe for a scan of the knee injury that forced her out of the China Open ahead her quarterfinal. It is the second tournament in a row the 33-year-old has pulled out of. Her last 8 opponents, Sam Stosur, will now go straight into the semi-finals in Beijing, where she will face Wimbledon champion Petra Kvitova. Maria Sharapova, a 6-0, 6-4 winner over fellow Russian Svetlana Kuznetsova, faces Anna Ivanovic in the other semi-final. Williams won her 18th Grand Slam at the US Open last month, putting her joint 4th in the all-time list of major winners alongside Martina Navratilova and Chris Evert. But last week, in her first tournament since Flushing Meadows, the inaugural Wuhan Open, she had to be helped from the court during a match against Alice Connett at the year's Wimbledon. The world number 1 withdrew from the doubles tournament with sister Venus because of a viral illness. And now to other stories outside Nigeria. Leaders of a pro-democracy students group in Hong Kong have postponed talks with the government after demonstrators were involved in scuffles with opponents. The group said the government was failing to protect protesters. The supporters are angry at plans by China to vet election candidates and have been occupying parts of the city. Hong Kong's leader offered talks to defuse the situation after the protesters called for his resignation. But scuffles broke out on Thursday as people, apparently angry with the disruption caused by the protests, tried to dismantle tents and barricades. The Hong Kong Federation of Students, which was invited to negotiations with the government on Wednesday, said in a statement it had shelved the talks. A time and place for the negotiations had never been confirmed. Opponents of the protests surrounded an activist tent in Hong Kong. And that's it in Primetime News tonight. Thank you for watching. And on behalf of the production team, I am Ebulomo Adekunle saying have a pleasant night rest.